Hello everyone, I'd like to talk about a very interesting topic. Why can Chinese often be without the subject? Let's uncover the fascinating logic behind subjectless sentences in Chinese. Have you ever noticed that a simple, natural Chinese sentence like 下雨了, it's raining, always requires an it in English. But who does that it refer to? And when native speakers say Chinese, we often feel they are a bit wordy, constantly adding words like I, you, and he that we usually omit. This seems like a small grammatical difference, but it actually hides a fundamental difference in the sentence construction logic between Chinese and English. Today I want to share this secret with you and understand the deeper logic behind subjectless sentences in Chinese. English is a typical language with a prominent subject. Its sentence structure is like a fixed scaffold, with the subject being the core support. Without it, the entire structure is unstable. The whole sentence answers who did what. Therefore, even for actions like 下雨, without the clear actor, grammatically the formal subject it is needed to maintain the structure's integrity. Chinese, however, is a language with a distinct theme. The core of our sentences is the theme. That is what we are talking about at this moment. Then we describe around this theme. The subject, it doesn't necessarily have to appear. For example, if we say 今天下雨了, the theme is 今天. We are describing today's situation. And this situation is 下雨了. As for whether 今天 or it is the subject, grammatically, we don't care.
Core difference, different sentence organization principles and focus. Subject distinct languages. Their sentence construction follows the grammatical axis of subject-verb. The subject is not only the semantic starting point, but also an indispensable and mandatory syntactic component. The entire sentence framework emphasizes who performed what action. Therefore, even if a subject is not semantically specified, a formal subject must be added grammatically to maintain syntactic integrity. Theme-centric languages. Their sentence construction revolves around the logical core of theme statement. The primary function of a sentence is to explain or state a topic being discussed. This topic can be an entity or background elements such as time, place, or condition. The subject is not grammatically mandatory and can be omitted if the context is explicit or unnecessary. The legitimacy of a sentence depends on whether the content clearly revolves around the topic rather than whether the grammatical components are complete. The logic of handling subjectless sentences in Chinese, a typical manifestation of the theme-centric characteristic. The phenomenon of subjectless sentences is a direct product of the theme-centric characteristic of Chinese. Although these sentences lack a grammatical subject, their meaning is fully expressed through the theme, context, or the action itself. The key to handling and understanding subjectless sentences lies in identifying the theme and clarifying the action. Centered on the action event itself, when the performer of the action is self-evident, needs no explicit mention, or cannot be known, the sentence directly presents itself as action plus other components. The theme is either implied in the scene or carried by adverbs of time or place. Centered on background information such as time, place, conditions, when the scope of the statement needs to be clearly defined, these background elements are placed at the beginning of the sentence as the theme, followed directly by a statement about that theme, without needing to specify the subject.
Once you understand the core concept of prominent theme, you can perfectly understand why there are so many natural and idiomatic subjectless sentences in Chinese. They are not incomplete, but rather a natural manifestation of our linguistic thinking logic. When dealing with these sentences, remember 6 words: grasp the theme, clarify the action. For example, does the sentence mom calls 开饭了 have a subject? No, but the theme is implied in the same. It's the act of eating now. The action is dinner is served. Everyone knows, so the subject can be completely omitted. For example, 门口停着一辆车. There's a car parked at the entrance. What's the theme? It's 门口. The action is 停着. We are describing the situation at the entrance. Who parked the car isn't the focus of the sentence. Making an appointment with a friend. 明天去公园. Let's go to the park tomorrow. The theme is the time, 明天, and the action is 去公园. Who's going? Of course, it's we in the conversation. The context has already made it clear. No further explanation needed. And then there are notices 教室里禁止吸烟. No smoking in the classroom. The theme is the location, 教室里. And the action is 禁止吸烟. This is a rule for everyone. There's no need to specifically point out who the subject is. So you see, constructing a sentence in English is like building a precisely structured building. Every grammatical component must fit perfectly. Constructing a sentence in Chinese is more like painting a freehand sketch. We focus on capturing the essence of the topic, while the self-evident parts are left to the context to fill in. Recognizing this not only allows us to more deeply appreciate the conciseness and efficiency of our native language, but also helps us avoid literal traps in language learning and translation. Truly grasping the core of thought and achieving precise and authentic expression. I hope this content is inspiring. If you are also on the path of language learning or self-exploration, feel free to leave a comment and share your thoughts. I will continue here walking this path with you. Thank you.